Hello, it's Amy, and I'm here with a package that I've just retrieved from the mailbox on my way in tonight. And so I thought I would open it up on camera. I think there could potentially be 2 books in this package, but we'll open it up and see. This is my new knife. And I'm not sure that I like it as well as my old one, just because it does take a little bit more effort on my part to get things open. But it is quite a nice knife. It was a Christmas present from my dad this year. So we've got this opened up here. Things inside are wrapped nicely in newspaper, and it feels as though both items are taped together. So we'll get that out of the way. The receipt here, yep, it's telling me it's 2 items. One of them is a Lawrence and Nancy Goldstone book, warmly inscribed, The New England Forger, and other. The rest is missing here. I'm assuming it's going to be other tales. And then we have The Nightwood by Robin Mueller. And The Nightwood is a book that I really enjoyed reading as a child. And I'm going to say it's been probably 15 years since I last had my hands on a copy and was able to read it. And I struggled to remember the title of the book. And so I had to do some searching until I finally figured out exactly the book I was remembering. So this is a children's picture book. It's The Nightwood by Robin Mueller. And it was my absolute favorite as a little girl. And I recall the plot line had something to do with this woman who is told not to go into the Nightwood, not to go into the woods. But she does anyway, and she discovers this kind of magical party. And I was absolutely enchanted with it as a child. And I remember the illustrations. And it's just telling me in the front here that it's actually based on a Celtic folk tale, Tamerlane. This is an anniversary edition, so this is not a first edition. But I do remember the opening page very well. Beware of the elves who come in the night to visit your dreams and give you a fright. And so she goes off. After looking out the window, she goes off into the wood, and she's given this flower, and she dances all night at this magical ball. And it's only when she comes out in the morning that she realizes the flower in her hair has wilted, has died. But she's fallen in love with this man, and she wants, some way to keep him. They keep her from going back into the forest, and she becomes deathly ill. And I'm not remembering the entire story here, but there's this one image that's reminding me that in order to hold on to her lover, she must hold on as she changes shape, from fire to ice and so on. And only if she can hold on through all that pain and all those changes does her lover get to stay with her. But as I said, a childhood favorite, and I'm glad to have a copy of this again. And I'll probably sit down and read it thoroughly later tonight. The second one was one that I threw in because I thought, since I'm already ordering one from this particular seller, let's get a second one as well, just to fill out the order, because whoever heard of just ordering one book at a time? Certainly not me. And this is wrapped in the Chronicle Herald. I'm not sure where the Chronicle Herald is from. Saltwire.com, a municipality of Cumberland. Well, it's a paper from somewhere in Canada. That's all I can say. Let's see what is the other newspaper from January. I got the obituary section. I wonder if it'll... somewhere in Nova Scotia. So these books came from a seller in Nova Scotia. And I am not a fan of their wrapping methods. This book is in plastic wrap. You know, the plastic wrap, it's going to protect it from the ink of the newsprint and potentially if this package had gotten wet. But I am not a fan of books arriving in plastic wrap. I'm not sure it does much in the way of protection, and it's just kind of a difficult thing to get unwrapped. I think I'm just going to have to tear this. So we have Warmly Inscribed, and this is about forgery. And the Goldstones write about the rare book world and book collecting. I've read a couple of other works. Not read this one yet. So this is one from 2001. The charming husband and wife writing team that brought us Used and Rare and Slightly Chipped is back with another delightfully whimsical foray into the world of books and book collecting. This time around, Larry and Nancy Goldstone, accompanied by their wise and witty 8-year-old daughter, Emily, treat their readers to a fabulous personal tour of the Library of Congress. 114 million books, so little time. I'm sure there's a lot more there now. They also entertain us with unorthodox behind-the-scenes looks at the Folger Library and the Beinecke Yale University Rare Book Room Manuscript Library. Forgeries, famous and otherwise, feature largely among the tidbits of arcane book lore that the Goldstones share with their readers this time around. And so yes, forgeries. I find forgeries very interesting because in some cases, forgers were actually able to get away with passing books and manuscripts off as the real thing. And sometimes, you know, it's years or decades before it's discovered that they're forgeries. And in other cases, it's quite likely that there are a few forgeries or possibly many forgeries out there that have slipped under the radar and are still thought and may always be thought to be the real thing. And so that's quite a treat to bring into my library today. And that's it. Just 2 books in the mail, and that's all. And I hope you have a great Friday evening.